Hello, Restoration Church. Aaron here. I'm joined here today with Mytchell Brush.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming in, Mitch. And Mitch and I have been, we've had a few conversations over the last couple of months.
Yeah.
I've just been really encouraged about what God is doing in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Just even your demeanor, the things you're saying, the things you're opening up about in your own life. I've just seen a real change in you, which has been really encouraging. And Mitch has been leaning into Restoration Church, which we're really thankful about. Mitch, in our conversations, God is doing a work in your life. Could you kind of explain that? What is God doing so that everyone else knows, so that we can be encouraged by that?
Yeah, for sure. About a year ago, my brother had a big accident there. We thought he may not make it.
Which, by the way, we did interview
Yeah.
your brother.
Yep.
If you go down the YouTube channel,
Yeah.
I think it was, a year ago?
Yeah, pretty quick after he had the accident, about a month or two after the accident, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
Go on.
About a year. So I guess when that happened, a stirring kind of started in me. I always kind of kept church and Christianity kind of at arm's length distance.
Yeah.
Being told or telling people like, yeah, I'm a Christian, but like wasn't really leading a life that would, like, you'd look at the guy and be like, man, he's got something different in him, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's very cold, very sinister, very closed off to people. I didn't want to share people. I didn't want to say, hey, this is what I'm struggling with. Hey, can you help me with this? Can you pray for me? Things like that.
Yeah.
But I think kind of that kind of started, and I just kept pushing it away, being like, it would come up and I would just divert my attention to something else. And then back, I don't even know how many months ago, a few months ago, went through a breakup, and that kind of was like the tipping point. We're like, all right, that's it. I'm done. God, I'm down here. I know I need to be up here with you.
Yeah.
I broke down, and it was like, all right, God, I'm yours. What do you need from me? How do I get to that point where I actually feel like I'm a Christian? I actually feel like I have a relationship with you, that I want to continue to build a relationship with him.
Right.
So like that was kind of the tipping point, and kind of to where we are here today.
So, you had mentioned in there, Mitch, I'm going to ask you two different questions.
Yeah, for sure.
First of all, what has changed in your concept of God and who God is, or who Jesus is, kind of in the last few months?
I think, I don't know why I ever built up this this reality of who God was, that I had to be perfect, or I had to be a certain way to get to him or to be with him or anything like that. I don't know why, because I grew up in the church where that like was never taught to me. Like it was never at one point being like, you have to be perfect to be with God.
Right.
But I think that's the biggest thing that's changed in my perspective of church and Christianity is I don't have to be perfect, because none of us are perfect.
Right.
I'm going to wake up every day, I'm going to sin. It's just a given.
Yeah.
But understanding that I'm going to work, and with leaning on God, being like, hey, I know X, Y, and Z I'm going to struggle with today. Can you please help me?
Yeah.
And just having that understanding that I'm not perfect, but God is. I need to strive to be like him, but I'm going to fail. But I know with his help, I can be better at that.
And I mean, that what you're saying is grace.
Mm-hmm.
It's the grace of God that's been shown to us or demonstrated on our behalf, because we could never attain.
Oh, for sure.
God.
The grace that's been shown over these last few months is incredible.
Yeah. And so, second question, what in your life, kind of in your own persona, your own personality, your own character, what are some of the biggest changes that have been made?
There'd probably be like two. I mentioned them earlier. Was after university, graduated just in 2020. After university, got very angry and very cynical with God and kind of how my life was going.
Yeah.
I think I fed into that lie that you go to university and you'll immediately get a good job. And I kept getting told, like, Mitch, you're going to have to work for it, this and that. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I got that. It's fine.
Yeah.
And then move on a year later, and I'm still working a retail job.
Yeah.
Not kind of going anywhere where I thought I was going to be going a year after school. So I got very angry and almost annoyed at God, being like, what the heck, dude? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a Christian. I grew up in a Christian home.
Throw
why
me a bone here,
Yeah,
right?
like, why are you throwing me under the bus? Like,
Yeah.
just give me a little something, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very angry and very sinister, and I demonstrate that to a lot of loved ones around me. It was like,
Yeah.
was short tempered with them, wasn't the person I wanted to be around them. And then I think that kind of led into me being really closed off, not sharing with people what I'm struggling with or what I'm doing or anything like that, because I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it. I just was like this totally different person, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think I've made a 180-degree turn here from who I was like a month ago to now. Like,
Yeah.
I just keep improving, I think. So, and that's only by the grace of God that that's happening.
I love it. You know, one of the things that you say is even just looking ahead, and he used to be filled with cynicism,
Yep.
which so many people struggle with.
Mhm.
You know, looking
Mhm.
ahead to their future, especially this year, nothing
Oh,
turned out the way
Yeah,
anyone thought their
really.
life, and they thought they'd be in a different place. And so there's a cynicism of everything,
Yeah.
right? It's like, why even try?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Why even keep going forward? And there's if there's a belief in God, there's a sense of, God, like, throw me a bone here.
Yeah. Yep.
So Mitch, though, for this, obviously you don't have your whole rest of your life
Oh,
planned out. I mean,
yeah,
part of
that's
being a
for sure.
Christian is our hope is in Jesus. We move forward,
Yeah.
and he's our leader. One of the things that you're doing, which is exciting this summer, is you're working for AIM, which
Yep.
is African Inland Mission.
Yep.
Tell us just briefly, what is AIM? What do they do? And then what are you doing?
Yeah. So African Inland Mission is a missions organization, obviously. Their goal is to create Christ-centered churches among all African people,
Yep.
with the focus on the unreached people groups, as they call the UPGs or
Yep.
whatever that short form is. So they're essentially just building up missionaries to send over to Africa to help with various things. With the goal, obviously, to create churches and create African leaders so that in a few years the missionaries can move on and they have African leaders there that will be continuing the church, like building the churches and stuff like that. So what I do there is I'm a communications assistant. So I work a lot in association with their website and social media, just creating stories of missionaries, because at AIM, we think we have this amazing product that we're helping to, like God, we have this amazing product of God that we're trying to reach other people to. But then people here don't know what we're doing. Like people in Canada don't know what we're doing. So we're trying to reach more people and reach the younger generation as well. Like my generation and generations beyond me, which then entails website and social media type of things. So a lot of what I'm doing is just writing stories on missionaries, even writing stories and little biographies about people who work in the office, because you have people from all different walks of life. You have people who are like high up in government positions that are now working here. You have people who own their own businesses. Like you have these very, very intelligent people who are working jobs that are like, you think you'd be happy, and almost all of them say like, yeah, I was looking for something more. I came to AIM and I found what I was looking for. Like, and that's not to say anything that necessarily it's AIM doing. It's God working through AIM to create this environment that we all love to be in the office and sending people over to Africa. Yeah.
So Mitch, I mean, I love that. I'm so thankful that you're able to help out and assist in that, and so important, especially for the younger generation, to become more aware of what God is doing outside of just our own lives in our own context.
Yeah, we can live in that little bubble.
Yeah, and there's the mission of Jesus is worldwide, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So we need to be reminded of that. So how is a church, Restoration Church, how do we support you in that?
I think it's a twofold. First and foremost, like I need prayer.
Yeah.
I know I'm still growing in my faith and in my walk with Jesus, and each and every day I try to continue that. So I just need your prayers to make sure that like I stay on task. Remember kind of what I'm doing, what I'm helping to do,
and why you're doing it.
Yeah, and why I'm doing it. I think a lot of times Satan can come in and be like, "You don't need to do that. It's fine. No, you don't." So I I need kind of help with that. And then second off would just be financial support as well.
Yeah.
Working at AIM, which is a missions organization that relies on donations of people. I would be technically deemed a short-term missionary right now.
Yes.
So I do need support for that.
Yeah.
So I've just been asking people, like, just pray about it. If you feel like all you can do is give prayer, perfect. That's all. I need that.
Yeah.
If you do feel like you have some financial wiggle room in your budget or whatever to give financially to me, that would be amazing, because I do need that. But I fully know that God will provide.
Yeah.
I will do my best to spread the word and spread kind of what I'm doing, but then I know God will provide for me in any way that He needs.
So how do we, if we want to financially give, what's the next step?
Well, you can come talk to me. I do have a support letter that I can be giving out to people that
Okay.
kind of outlines things as well. Gives a little in depth of kind of who I am and stuff like that as well. But then you can also go to Africa Inland Mission, their website.
Yep.
And then there's a donations page, and then it's all set up online where you can insert how much you want, the name of the missionary, which would obviously be my name, and then you can do reoccurring transactions or just one time.
Well, we can throw the link in the description box for you if you pray about it and you feel like you want to support Mitch in AIM in his ministry in AIM for this summer. We'll throw it in that description box for you all. So, Mitch, thanks a lot, man, for sharing your story and what God is doing. It's so exciting for me to see you and how you're growing, and just having that new concept of who Jesus really is and His grace in your life, and then also seeing that real change just in your own character.
Yeah, I love talking about kind of what God's done for me. So this has been amazing. Thank you very much for setting this up. Yeah,
no problem. Yeah. And we're looking forward to seeing you continue to grow and serve at Restoration, and for us as well to be a part of the fellowship and family here. So
for sure.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you have any questions as well, you can message us, go to the website, restoration-church.ca, connect with us, and we'd be happy to connect with you. Okay, guys? See you later.